Hello,
Hello.
Jeff.
Hello.
How
are
goes?
you?
Cool. Good. I'm really starting to enjoy that opening. I don't know if anybody was here for that, but I'll tell you,
I love it.
I was fired up. And I'm fired up about today's show. So my name is Peter Jude Ricciardi. I am founder and CCO, whatever that means, at Brandartica. And Jeff?
I am Jeff Litkowski. I am the COO of Brandartica.
Cool. So I'm the cacao, which makes sense.
The coup.
The cacao, and Jeff's the coup. We got a great show today, and we've got a really special guest that we're excited about. So we're talking about the recent newsletter I just posted, where the dogs of society howl. I feel like I always screw up our name, but that's it, actually. That newsletter is really about the underdog advantage and how outsiders win and scale without losing their mind in the process. So everybody loves an underdog story, Jeff, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Of course, until you're living in the underdog situation, then it's maybe a little bit different. Starting small, unknown, not on the radar yet. You don't have a big budget or a legacy name. You know, what you do have, though, is speed, curiosity, no rules to follow, which I like. Jeff, anything I missed there?
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah. Love some chutzpah, especially on a nice rye.
Yes.
Yes. So here's, we're going to talk about underdogs, disruptors, outsiders, how they can punch above their weight, if you will. And we got a great guest. So I'm super pumped about this. We're going to be bringing in Nikeisha Daley, otherwise known as Nikki. She is a digital marketer. She's a writer. She's an artist. She's a badass painter. She's an all-around badass, and she's dialing in from Jamaica today. I happened to meet Nikki on LinkedIn through, I'll give you all 5 guesses. One guess. Why would I do 5? How did I end up meeting Nikki? Let's see. There's some kind of a H2O connection here. I'll just say it. It's Jay Williams at Freebird. She follows him. We met through
He's such an instigator, that guy.
He is. He's such a problem child. She's got 12 plus years of experience. Nikki knows how to build brands that matter. And she knows how to help people break free working remotely and to live their life on their terms. She's also a fucking joy, to be honest with you. She is truly proof that you can do meaningful work, create art, and build the life that fits you successfully. So we're going to get right into it, and I'm going to bring her in here. Please, ladies and gentlemen, put your phalanges and hands together for Nikki Daley. Hi, Nikki.
Woo-hoo. Welcome.
Awesome.
Yes, she is.
What an introduction.
Welcome. Oh, thank you. Yes. In another life, I was introduction extraordinaire. I should have been a game show host. If I was born a little earlier, I would have been like a game show host. That would have been my thing.
I agree.
Was your nickname MC PJ? Was that
no, actually, you know what? At Disney, and this is one of those ones. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? My MC name at Disney was Pete with a question mark. So it was Lil P, capital E, Lil T, little E, question mark.
Question mark is the best.
What? I don't know what the hell that was about, but it was, we even had a guy, and I'll give him a shout out here. His name was Steve Furtado. If you're out there, Steve, awesome guy, sax player, super cool guy. He had the best MC name at Disney out of anybody, and his was Stevie Ray Fun.
Nice.
It was alarming days indeed. So, Nikki, what are you up to today? Where are you? You're not in your usual spot. Tell me what you're doing. Where are you?
I'm at my kids' school.
Cool.
They're marketing and stuff. So
there you are.
I love it. And for those of you who are having a little bit of trouble hearing Nikki today, just speak it. She'll speak up, but also relax. Just listen, okay? We got a lot to get through, so we'll get into it. Couple of things here I want to talk about. And because, tell us a little bit more, because your journey has changed since the last time we spoke, Nikki. we talked a lot about copywriting previously, and your painting, which is fabulous. I've told you that 100 times. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing these days and where how you've evolved it.
These days, it's a lot more marketing, a lot more social media. I do want to get into writing a lot more and, kind of incorporate the drawing. But I've also grown so much in graphic designing.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
And video editing. So,
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think it's great to have a variety of skill sets. And I know I'm like, I'm good enough at enough things to be dangerous in them, and that's just, I think, for people that, and I'm going to guess because I think I know enough about you to say it's accurate. You enjoy doing those things.
I do.
Yeah. So it's not really work.
I mean, the big thing is you never stop learning.
Right.
And then the best thing I found in terms of doing marketing, and I've been doing it for a long time. It's good to be at least a generalist, right? To understand different things, even if you're not the master of them. At least you understand the mechanics of it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. I love it. I love doing all these things, and it's hard. I've always heard, niche down, choose one, but
Yeah, I mean, I think people misunderstand niche down. That's what I think they do. They're like, I only do this, and it's like, that, dude, that's not all you are. And I mean, if that makes you happy, I'd say then great, cool.
Sure.
It is at the end of the day all about making sure the things that you're doing on a daily basis are making you happy. Obviously, there's things that we don't like. Jeff, anything that you don't like specifically other than beats?
I was just going to say beats.
Yeah. Nikeisha, is there anything that you find yourself having to do daily that Nikki Daley, see what I'm doing? See what I'm doing there? That you go, yeah, this doesn't really make me happy, but it's part of life and I got to do it.
I'm not a huge fan of video editing, to be honest. I like directing.
Oh, okay. I like that too.
Editing,
Yeah. Well, I think a good director makes life a little bit easier for an editor. A bad director does the opposite, right? Give a shout out here. We've got Michael McPherson. We've got Rob Unger. Rob, you made it. You said you might not make it, and then you did.
He did.
And I know I saw somebody else poking around in here. Oh, Mr. Samuel Adams. Anderson. Sorry. It's like a hiccup for me. Samuel Anderson. The Anderson kid from up the road.
Right.
So awesome. So what were we talking about today was really a lot of things, but underdog advantage, how smaller companies can, win and scale without losing their brain. And there's a couple of things I think, and I want to get both of you to give me some feedback and input on this. When I say, I love to embrace, when you have a limitation, you got two choices: either destroy it and move forward, or embrace it and move on. So embracing the outside edge. The big players, they have red tape. Smaller players, they don't. What do you guys think about that statement? True, not true? Add to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll let Nikki go first.
He is our guest, Jeff.
Yeah, I agree. It's like video editing, for example. You don't have to destroy the entire thing if something goes wrong. That's why you edit. You just you fix it and you move along. Starting
That's
over, it's hard for anybody.
Yeah, I think in that case too, and Jeff, then you're going to jump in here. Is that you can't self-edit when you're doing video. Like let's say you're doing this kind of video and you're trying to make a point and doing a thing. You just got to do it, and then it can be edited later. So you don't have all these outside forces, especially when you're a smaller company or a smaller business. Jeff, what were you going to add to this? Because I know
was
you
just thinking, like, when you said red tape, I'm thinking more of sometimes the bigger plays have red tape, meaning there's lots of different levels of approval for things. Like a lot of things get bogged down with the bigger players because they can't move as swiftly as the startups and the entrepreneurs. because there's too many. There's other cooks in the kitchen, right? So, and it's not that they don't have a process, but it tends to be slower moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So moving faster is an advantage that you have as a smaller business. And, I think there's a couple of others as far as, you can test out new ideas before anybody else notices, the giants notice, also showing up where no one expects. But that second one to me is really important. And I want to get your take on this, Nikki. I've talked to people who go, well, I want to become a presence on LinkedIn. I want to get to be a thought leader and a voice, working on my personal brand and et cetera. And they're like, yeah, but I don't have an audience. And I go, no, you mean a community. Okay. First, but like, I don't really, I'm just building my audience. And I go, okay, well, so my thought is this is the perfect time to go out there and try things out when nobody will see it, fuck up, make mistakes. It'll
Right.
all drop to the bottom of the bin anyways. The sediment of your greenness, let's say, in speaking on video, it's going to settle to the bottom of the feed. So nobody's really going to notice it. So get those things out of the way. Would you think that is appropriate in other places too, with writing or even painting?
Yeah, I mean, just start.
Yeah.
Just start. Whatever you want to do, just start. If you want to create a brand, start with LinkedIn.
Okay.
You want
Yeah.
to create a community, start somewhere.
That's right.
No, as you said, nobody will notice if you mess up.
Yeah.
Test.
And we're test, see what works, see what doesn't. And if nobody's responding, it's not just because it didn't work. It's because maybe you just don't have the audience that's there yet. You don't have the presence, which, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Jeff, what were you going to say about that?
I was just going to, it's funny when I started hearing the song in my head from that Rudolph claymation and when we were growing up, probably dating myself, but it's like one step, put one foot in front of the other.
Oh yeah.
I started hearing that song, and the thing is that you got to keep moving, you got to keep trying different things, and yeah, so if it lands like a dud, then do something different next time. If it causes a stir, then don't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is just the do.
I disagree with you, Jeff. If it causes a stir, do it again.
Do it again.
I'm telling you, man, look, if you don't upset anybody with anything or nobody gets a little miffed, then you're failing.
I guess engagement is engagement. It's like that Madonna thing, like bad press is as good as good press. So to me, yeah, it's like it's the act of doing that's the most important thing, because you will never learn what's effective and what's really clicking with your community unless you do.
Yeah. I did I started doing audio narrative books and not listening to them, but like doing them. Like it's funny. I'm doing audio narration books. Thank you. Having never listened to one. So like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And obviously I must have done it completely wrong. The way people like don't want it is what I did, which is fine because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And the author was cool with it. But if somebody was, I looked at the reviews, somebody was like, I hate your face. And I was like, well, you don't even see my face, you jerk.
How could somebody hate your voice?
This Slafacha,
it's the trolls.
But like, but those are the kind of things that like my earlier books were riddled with mistakes. And I could see how that would be frustrating to somebody to have to listen to that. They're but that's the kind of thing where I'm not doing a Dan Brown book and making mistakes, making that many mistakes will never get me a Dan Brown book. But that's the point, is like, get out there. And if anybody that's in this room right now, all 6 of you, I can see you, I know exactly where you live. Got any questions or comments about this, please share them.
I do want to welcome Paul Cullen is here, and Richard Moniz, our friend Richard.
Oh, good. Did they bring snacks?
I was thinking like a charcuterie. I was in the green room and they didn't even have anything in there. So for snacks, so
You know, I don't know how many times I tell people, at least bring like a pound cake, like a Sara Lee pound cake.
Something like that.
It's the
Something.
least amount of effort you could bring when you
Drink.
attend this, right?
Maybe
Stella Doro S cookies or something, you know, and whatever. Mm.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, by getting the things out of the way that, you know, you got to learn to crawl before you walk, before you run, of course.
Mm.
You know, can either one of you think of maybe 3 ways that a brand, and this is also to the people, Paul has wine and charcuterie. Anybody want to offer up in the comments 3 ways that your brand or a brand you know of breaks the industry norm? You know, share that with us. Or if you've ever pitched a weird idea, share that in the notes too, or in the comments. I often tell people who are struggling with ideas to, you know, pitch your spouse, pitch your pal, pitch your kid, pitch the tree out back. A weird idea. Do it for 30 days, not the same idea. Try to come up with a weird idea and then pitch it to someone for 30 days straight. It will increase your ability to think more weirdly, which I think is a positive, but also to, you know, it'll hone your skills at communicating, right? Any other things there? I mean, you're a communicator, Nikki. So what would you recommend to someone who needs to sort of scale up their elevator pitch or their, you know, how they talk about their business?
Well, first, you just need to be clear on what you want to do. You have to figure out, and I know that mean come up with the idea, but figure out exactly what you want to do. What do you want to offer? But also in pitching ideas, you get to test how much creatively you can think and thinking out the box and putting your unique perspective out there. You know,
Yeah, I
it
agree.
makes people notice.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've got a couple of ideas here, Jeff. You want to read this first one that's on the screen for us?
Dr. Squatch.
This is from Richard Moniz.
Mm.
Moni.
Paying Sydney Sweeney, I remember a ton of money for a few thousand units of her bath water to add to the soap, right? Now it's funny, sometimes that didn't land well with people, but you got to understand too that they did so much other things too, Dr. Squatch. So many different partnerships with people, Mike Tyson, and they had all these other partnerships, even with like I think there was what's the movies like the different universe movies with the superheroes.
Oh, the multiverse.
Marvel. I think it was Marvel. I couldn't think of it. Marvel Comics. You know, they have all of these different things that make them different. And what people have to understand is they make soap like that. What other soap company is doing those things? No one. And that is where like they've really stood out. It's not that they're doing everything shocking like the Liquid Deaths of the world, but they're doing stuff that's different in their category, and that to me is the takeaway.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is like a stupid question. Who's Sydney Sweeney?
I don't.
Who is it?
Know. Someone knows her.
Richard, if you could let us know who Sydney Sweeney is, I want to know why her bath water is that important. I love the idea. And it's funny, you know, everybody has their own thing. I tried Dr. Squatch a couple of times, loved the package, loved the thing, loved the scents. Yeah, I want to smell like bourbon and leather every day. I ended up like getting like I had an allergic reaction to it, frankly.
Yeah.
And I don't really have allergic reactions to anything. But I was so itchy and uncomfortable after I used it.
It was a bad batch or something.
Forget it. Okay, so we've got some comments that she's cute. Yes, that helps. Oh, she's on White Lotus, which is something I have still yet to see. I'm sorry, I haven't gotten there yet. Nikki, are you a White Lotus fan or no?
I have no idea what that is.
Let's carry it forward.
I hardly know what it is, to be honest.
So, building, how do you go from scrappy stage to being bigger? You know, I mean, a lot of us getting started are using duct tape to put the whole thing together. And you can do that because you're agile, you're new. But when you get too comfortable with that, you start to slide. Do you guys have any sort of thoughts about, and anybody that's listening, of course, watching, let's talk about some hack modes to get real systems in place, processes that you can help grow your business. Jeff, let's give a couple of examples of the things that we've done before, if Nikki wants to jump in on that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if you took one element of your kind of like marketing strategy, and let's just say social media, one of the first conversations we have with clients is in developing content is, let's choose some pillars, right? So let's choose some lanes, and they don't have, so that way you're mixing up your content so that there's a variety, but more importantly that you're kind of keeping it in those lanes, and you're not like going rogue all the time with all different kinds of messaging. That consistency over time and staying in those lanes is a single process that anybody could do, even before they're ready to hire an agency like ours.
Do you run into that sort of in your own business, Nikki?
Yeah.
Like what is there something is there anything you've been using as far as like to automate a process that you do that just streamlines your day?
Yeah, so a part of my marketing thing, is email marketing. And so as a startup or as a solopreneur, whatever the term is nowadays, I choose products that are affordable and offers a ton of things. So for example, MailerLite, it offers a ton of things for free. You don't have to do the most expensive thing when you're starting out. If you don't have that kind of budget, you just don't have that kind of budget, but you want to start and you want to make a big impact. And so research products that work for you. It doesn't have to be the most expensive thing.
There's always like a new kid on the block that wants to get their product out there for, a lower term or lower fee or free. And there's a lot of good ones. And I mean, Jeff, I feel like that's how we came upon, like, in a sense, like for us, Monday was like, I had tried a lot of other, what are they, CRMs, if you will?
Well, it's more like a project management
tools that I was like, dude, I don't know how to fly a 747, let alone run this damn thing. It's just another chore for me, and I don't want it. Monday's a lot easier, a lot simpler. Somebody had said to me, like, why'd you choose that? Why would you use it? Why not use this? And I was like, because I understand it. And that, look, just because it does the job for me, if I don't understand it well, that just makes my day drag on more, right?
I was just going to add to that is that what you just said actually is at the core of a lot of really great products out there, in that if it's easy to use, that's what people want. A lot of times people go into products, even especially software products, and they're like, it has to have all of these features and do all of these things. Well, that's great that they can do all those things, but is it usable?
Yeah. And I want to mention here, we've got Paul Cullen. Hello, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Nice to see you. His wine, Paul Cullen wine, it's Paul Cullen Wines. Yeah. He ships to what is it, 43 states?
43 states.
And he's got a super tie-in to classic rock, which I don't know if he wants me to like mention it or not, but and he's thinking about what are the best ways to get that wine out to wine and classic rock lovers. Well, you could start by sending it to me. I'm a classic lover and a wine rocker. So, whatever that means. Apologize for the visual on that. If there was one, if anything popped into your mind and you now feel slightly unwell, I apologize. Now, let's talk about what Paul's asking us here. He ships to 43 states, and he's looking for a better way to reach those people. I think that it's a great audience. And obviously social media, blah, 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 blah. Yes, of course. Till the day I die. I know what you're talking about. Jeff, will you give us a little background on what we know about Paul Cullen real quick?
Oh, well,
Do
Paul
you
was
remember?
a part of a very famous classic rock band, Bad Company.
Nights in white satin.
That's right.
Okay.
No,
Sorry.
no, that's not.
Yeah,
That's not the right.
that's not the right band. No, that's the right band, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I
I
think it
think it's
is.
a different band.
Paul, let us know if I completely screwed the pooch on that. I think I got it. Anyway, I think, of course, I think for Paul, having a really vibrant social media presence, obviously, and exploring some of these newer platforms that aren't so like, I look at it and I go, I don't know for Paul, like how comfortable he is on TikTok, but as a founder, he doesn't have to be. Oh boy, I screwed up. I was going to say, as a founder, like in his position, whether or not you're comfortable on a platform isn't really relevant. Oh, Moody Blues, shit, damn it, God damn it. Can I just tell you I hate Moody Blues? I'll say that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that using those platforms to reach audiences in their different places. So I'm not so much as falling into the TikTok demographic myself personally at my age at 56, but I am on it and I do use it, and I'm on it and I use it because of my kids. But that's like, that's a place where you can sort of start to play with this. And with his musical background and his abilities, I think it would be a real treat to see a lot more of him out there doing it. I also think that there's a way to turn, I also wonder about Feel Like Making Love. Always. Always. Right. Sorry. Wow. Going really weird here. Going dark. I was going to say, I would love to see some kind of collaboration artistically for album covers and wine labels that are album covers. And, yeah, Robert.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that came to mind, because we've been talking about this recently internally, is Reddit.
Yep.
I mean, I think there's groups in there that can be that you can bring attention to your product, because there are lots of Reddit groups, I'm sure, that are classic rock groups of people, and they like to talk about classic rock and everything associated with it.
Yeah, Reddit's a great spot, Paul. Jeff's dead on with that. Nikki, are you a wine gal?
I'm not. I want to be.
You want to be?
All right. I'm not, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I'm a wine gal, so I can tell you that.
He is. He's a wine gal.
I am. I'm a wine gal.
Nice.
What is it about wine that you have not hopped aboard the train yet?
I'm not big on alcoholic beverages, to be honest. But
Okay. But there's the whole non-alcoholic world too now. So
that's true.
And I like sparkling wine.
Yes, sparkling wine's good too. Paul, if you make a sparkling wine, we should talk about getting it over to Nikki here. I love that. Now, I think his question was really valid. And Paul, anytime you want to just kick that stuff around with us, let's just hop on a call or on a phone. And,
yeah, sure.
And let's workshop a couple of ideas. That's easy peasy. I love what you do. I love the product. That's a thing that I'm passionate about. When I start to get passionate about a product and a vibe and a style, for me, that's like turning on the fire hose for me for ideas and creativity. So I like to talk about those things. So thoughts. He has several low alcohol sparkling wines. I'm going to drop his link in the comments.
And Paul is multifaceted here. Besides his musical background and his winemaking, he's also a personal chef. And he I believe he does a travel tour thing.
Really? He's a man of leisure. He's just
I don't know if you can hear me. There's a rainstorm outside now.
Oh no.
Oh
It did look
yeah.
like looks like it got very dark in there.
Yeah,
Did the lights go out?
it did.
Oh no. Well, you let us know if you need to like run for shelter or goodness gracious.
I know.
That's wild.
All right, we got all the links now. So
How do you guys all feel about,
there?
there we go. We got paulcullen.rocks. We've got all the links are coming in fast and furious. I see the other one, Bad Company, up there. Yep. Italy and beyond. Beyond, do you mean Saturn or Neptune or just beyond Italy? Anyway.
There's got to be stuff beyond Italy, I would think.
Yeah. Let's chat about safe branding. And, you know, for those of you that are on the call now, there are 7 of you. Each one of you is going to get a half-consumed bag of plantain chips after the end of the show. We'll get those out. We'll get those out. The mail team we have, the MALE, the mail like is in MAIL. We'll send those out.
Right.
So what do we think about safe branding and blending in? It's no bueno, right? And for these smaller companies, Nikki, do you find that they kind of are afraid to take risks, or maybe they're more?
I find that a lot of new companies, a lot of new brands, they're doing what everybody's doing. You know, there's no uniqueness. There's no thought. I love a brand that thinks through their logo or their colors or their whatever it is that they want to use to represent them. I love a brand that thinks through it and gives something meaningful that somebody has to look at it and say, oh, that's what that meant. Or, hey, in reference to something else, you know, be creative. There's not a lot of that anymore.
Okay. And Jeff, thoughts on that?
Yeah.
We run into it.
I know.
I think we run into on projects or clients of all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, and what there's one thing that's going on too, and because of the Dr. Squatch and Liquid Death, and because of those kinds of brands, kind of they had a different path, right, than a lot of other brands. That there's these emerging brands that wanted to be copycats, and one of the problems with that is that they're looking at it. I'm just going to follow this formula, and the same outcome is going to happen to me, and it's not, because they haven't done the groundwork first. They haven't built the community, and they haven't got in front of a target customer in person. You can't just copy what they did and think that it's going to turn into a $2 billion sale. It's just, you can't duplicate that. It's just, there's too many factors involved.
Yeah.
And I think the idea is it's not that, when I think about brands like that, like Dude Wipes and Liquid Death, is that they found something in their product, in the market that their product is in, that was missing. And but that would be it's more like just be careful to not go into the same space where someone's already disrupted. It's just the timing of it isn't there. They took advantage of a gap, and they went for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I try to tell folks that are in a maybe a smaller budget situation, and they're stuck and they don't feel like they're able to get outside the box, or they feel too safe and they're not sure what. It goes right back to the beginning when we were talking about, while nobody's looking, get funky, get freaky, get weird. And I would say, sit down. 2 things. I would say, if you're in a position where you feel like, would you notice your brand if you didn't own it? Think about it for a minute and really be honest. Would you notice your brand if you didn't own it? And then the other piece I say is, and we're always happy when, this is something we do on a daily basis, is I say, rewrite a piece of your own copy and make it like 20, 30% braver. Hell, if you want to be nuts, go 50% wacko on it. Just try it. Nobody's ever going to see it. Doesn't mean that it has to see the light of day. Just give it a holler, give it a shout, and just see what it feels like to step outside of that box. And we've got a great question coming in from Rob Unger. Did you know that his uncle was Felix Unger, one of the Odd Couple fellas? That was his great uncle. True story. Fact check it. So what do we got here? Nikki, Rob would like to know, would you say it makes sense to be weird with marketing and sales wise, knowing that the other dudes do? He says, I literally hate generic sales baloney BS. I can't do it. On your end, because you do have to do a certain amount of sales, correct? Do you like the generic tact, or do you try to be unique? And if so, what ways do you do that?
So
Does that make sense?
the truth is, there aren't a lot of original ideas out there anymore. Everything has been either said before, used before, done before. But you can always make an original idea unique because you are the one that's doing it. What makes you unique? Put that in your brand. What about you is different from everybody else? Everybody's unique, right? Everybody has their own special thing. Put that in your brand. When it comes to marketing, there's always the foundations, but what can you do differently? Can you jazz up a video in some way that other people would love, or that you love? Or can you use other platforms that other persons aren't using? Are you everywhere at once, or are you just sticking to one thing? There are foundational things that you can always follow, but how are you using it to your advantage? Or how are you using it to put your spin on it?
Brilliant. And, you just gave me an idea for Paul and the wine was, Paul, it would be amazing to see some reels of you with a particular bottle of your wine, and describe that wine with a little bass lick or a note. I would love to see how you represent or reflect what this wine, the elements of this wine. Is it bubbly? Is it fruity? Is it dark? Is it sweet? Is it, is it like a smooth mouth feel, if you will? And do that with like a bass note. Or is it an A minor? Is it a D seventh? Is it a diminished note? I would love to see you do something like that, because who the hell else is going to do it? You've got all the skills, the chops, and the know-how, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Bingo, bango.
And just to add to that too is that's I think that's where you find it is in your personal brand, right? So you can find how you can differentiate by simply letting people know who you are and being and just being open to it. I mean, we started the thing here about me hating beets, right? So I put that in my content. Sometimes somebody asks, like, what's a food that you cannot, you will not ever eat? And then, I'll put it in because it's true. It's not, it's authentic, but it's sort of like, people want to know people. And that's the personal branding part of your business on LinkedIn, is that people want to know who you are. And if you have things that you love to do, integrate that into what you do professionally.
I love that. What is it about big brands that make them feel distant? Do you guys do you think that bigger brands just inherently feel
cliche to you?
Say again? I think we lost you a little bit there. What was that, Nikki?
No, I think I was just saying, it's cliche to hear, show up authentically. You always hear it, but it's so true when it comes to personal branding. People want to relate to you and connect with you, and the only way to do that is to who you actually are.
So I think that's inherently more difficult for a big brand to maintain and do. We talk a lot, and this is another big one for clients that we all share and we all have, or some of them maybe even on this call, is that, it's important when you're getting started or at a certain phase of your journey to, be a voice of your own brand. People want to do business with people. They don't want to do business with some company or some corporate entity. So it's important, especially at the beginning, I think, and it's more important at the beginning, really, that you become a recognizable, likable, affable component of the brand. And I get a lot of people that say, well, I don't have time for that, or the president doesn't really like to do, social media. I go, what do you, this isn't about you. I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you like, whatever. It's part of your brand. That's like saying, we're such and such oatmeal brand, but we hate oatmeal. Oh yeah, none of us eat it. It's gross. Like, why? You don't do that. It's
I'm
not
sure
up
that
to
could
you.
happen.
It's not about you, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting. I think one of the things we struggle with some clients, and again, it's a comfortability thing. Nikki, we find people that don't want to, appear on camera or voice themselves, like show the behind the scenes, show behind the scenes stuff. People love that, don't they?
Yeah. And just show up.
Yeah. Show up.
You might not be comfortable in doing something. You might not be comfortable on videos, but just show up. Just do it. You have nothing to lose.
But exactly.
The worst that anybody can say is no, or I didn't like this, but you have nothing to lose.
Rob here has a great question, which I think I'm seeing more and more often, which tells me there's some kind of a ripple going on under the surface of the Lake LinkedIn, if you will.
Yes, Linky.
Oh God, I hate that. I like a good brief, Jeff, but I don't know about that one. It's scaring me. Rob Unger wants to know, what is too much to share social wise? I often feel that I say too much or push out bullshit. I'm an open book, but is that bad? Honest question.
It's too
Anybody
much
want to start that?
Sharing your location or where you live. That's too much.
73 Main Street, apartment B.
I was going to say,
yeah, I would say posting from the toilet is too much.
This is the way I look at this too. If something happens to you personally and you want to share it, I'm okay with that. But if that's the only thing you're offering constantly, I think that's TMI. Like it's like you're sharing too much, right?
Yeah.
So that for me, it's more like, if something happened that wasn't, pleasant or whatever, I don't mind sharing that, because we're all human and we're all having these experiences, right?
Yeah.
And I think everybody can relate, right? It's all relevant to everybody, especially people in business. And but I don't think that should be like the core of your content. That's not what it's about. It's about that, you're sharing business stuff and you're sharing your know-how and things like that, and you're mixing it in with your personal stuff. And sometimes that personal stuff isn't pleasant, and it's okay to share that. I think it's okay, because it shows your vulnerability, and it just opens you up, and everybody knows you're human.
Yeah. I think, Jeff, though, you nailed it. Like there are times and places to do it. And if that's all you're offering, then that is a problem. I think I see some things. My perception sometimes of some people is, I go, what is this, a therapy session? Like this is not a therapy session. Like, I, as a human, understand your issue. I'm empathetic, and I've probably gone through the same thing. But if that's all I ever get out of you, I start to question, like, what are you here for? And then the other part of it, I think, is that, you can share your most vulnerable moments, right? No, I don't say you have to lead with the biz stuff. I would just say create a balance, Rob.
Balance.
I think that, if you do, let's say you do 4 posts a week, and on the 5th day, you do something personal. Okay. Or let's say if you give, let's just say you post once a day. Okay. If you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Rob Unger's free tip on yada yada that has to do with sales or business or whatnot. Cool. Just give something, ask for nothing in return. You don't need to be like, DM me. Just give something, give a piece of information. On that fourth day, post something personal. So we understand that you're not just some machine. You're a human being with likes, dislikes, problems, issues, joys, dark.
Oh yeah, it could be positive.
And then on that fifth day, slam it home with a hard sell. I mean, that's what I try to look at it that way and go, take a day, make a hard sell. You got to remember that, right? Also that, if sometimes you don't ask for it, like I've got a post coming out about like, this is who I want to work with next. And I'm just going to tell you who it is, what it is. This is the kind of company I want to work with. If you know them, cool. If you are one, cool. But like hoping you'll figure out between my, emotional distress posts, my distress signal post and my picture of the chicken I made last night that I want to do a branding project with a CPG brand. I'm hoping too much that you'll figure it out.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. Rob's got it. He's like, enough.
It's 80-20 rule. Right.
Well, and Rob, there's nothing to be, I feel that there's nothing, we all ask for help. We all ask for questions. We also sometimes we put things out there and hope I know when I posted something about refinancing, a buddy of mine was like, you shouldn't have done that. That's not professional. I mean, it makes you look a little like, a little weak in the mind and financially insecure. And I was like, yeah, but I am, and I'm okay. And I got a lot of great feedback. And so many of you guys that are out there on LinkedIn, 7 of which are on the call, maybe not all of you did it, but many others that are out there, said to me, dude, it's okay. It's tricky. It's stressful, but it works out okay. And it's not that bad, and you'll get through this and move on. And I loved to hear that. I wasn't asking for it, but it's what I needed.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, couple more things before we probably should start winding it out, because I know people got to get back to work, and Nikki's got other things to do today, I'm sure. What do we want to talk about? Thinking about revisiting your last customers. Who were the last 5 people that you served or provide services for, and did they love it? And what did they love the most? That's something that I think is important to ask yourself. Do you do that on occasion, Nikki, sort of a self-audit? Yeah.
For sure. My clients are a little bit more, personal because I connect with them one-on-one. So yeah, if our contract ends and I try to think about, did I do something wrong, or was it just, we have to move on now? I self-audit. I think about my processes, what I could have done better. And try to fix it for the next one. If, everything is not perfect. So, everything can do with a little fixing.
That's right. Who's that back there yelling?
Children.
I love it. So Nikki was kind enough to join us today. She got called into the school to do some stuff at her kid's school, and she signed in here anyways, and she joined us from there. So we can't thank you enough for that. Nikki, you want to just I want to let people know that, first of all, if you don't already know Nikki Daley, connect with her, share with her, get to know her. She is amazing. And your paint work is fabulous. Wonderful. I know we're having a sesh over
Wunderbar.
We're having a session. So anywhere else that people can find you, anything you want to leave with this audience today?
Yeah, I'm LinkedIn is where I'm at the most. And there's Instagram, but I'm not there. I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I am too.
She's in our group. If you don't know Jeff and I, you should. And then once you do get to know us, and if you're like, oh, this is just
Yeah.
utterly
Yeah.
disappointing, this is fragrantly offensive, then unfollow us. That's fine too. But
Right.
yeah, we had a great time talking to you today, Nikki. I appreciate you.
So great
Thanks for
meeting
having
you.
me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to get out of here. Jeff and I are two parts of the many spokes that make up Brandartica. And we are excited about doing these LinkedIn Lives every week. I'm going to be doing my visit to LinkedIn Live next week, Jeff, from, I believe I'll be up on the island in Maine.
Maine,
So,
yes.
you know.
Yes, watch out for that great white shark.
Now,
Yeah.
well, if I don't show up in this, it's probably because of that. Very simple. Thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you for joining us. And don't forget to sign up for the We're the Dogs of Society Howl newsletter. Comes out pretty much every week, unless I fell asleep at the wheel. And we're loving what we're doing. We're having a great time. Brandartica's on Instagram. We're not on X because we don't want to be. It's gross. And we are on Facebook, obviously, for the geriatric crowd.
Right.
And where else can you find us, Jeff?
You can find us online at our website.
On our website at brandartica.agency, and of course on the YouTube, and anywhere else that comfortable shoes are sold. So thank you all for coming in today. Nikki, we're going to pop out, but we're going to keep you here for a minute because we need to get things uploaded on this end just in case. So thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Ending it.
This is Peter.
That's right.